So the Massie crash out continues, guys. They are going further and further down the rabbit hole because they are so mad. They have gotten their marching orders. It is time to go all out on Donald Trump. We cannot hold back. We're going to get crazier and crazier because we have no influence, and we got to try to find out if we can get some. Maybe one of these stories will stick. Well, yesterday, Alex Jones had Marjorie Taylor Greene on and making this statement. We just watched Thomas Massie's election rigged and stolen. I'll say it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene joins millions of Americans in questioning Ed Galbraith's AIPAC-funded primary victory in Kentucky. I know what I saw happen, and I think the country knows what I saw too. Yeah, okay, Marjorie. I chose to give her that beautiful face right there so you guys could get a good look at her. But he had her say it like right here, exclusive, MTG raised the alarm. America's occupied by a foreign country. Yeah, well, if we were, it wouldn't be Israel. This is, they're getting crazier and crazier as they come out with this. So let's look at the actual claims, shall we? Because this is being pushed. This whole like Thomas Massie, it was stolen and AIPAC bought it off and blah, 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 blah. The problem is none of it holds up once you look at it. So the 40,000 votes coming out of nowhere for Ed Galbraith. Well, let's look at this here. Here's the actual, and they shared this graphic, which I don't have it on hand. Sorry, guys. But there's this graphic Alex Jones is circulating around that says that it's a 280 to 1 chance that this could happen or something crazy like that. And he just cites no actual statistics. He just put it all together with these numbers. So Ed got 57,000, Thomas 47,000, total votes 105,000. So here's a little history for you guys. Thomas Massie's opponents 2020, Todd McMurdy got 16,000 out of 84,000. In 22, they got 16,500 of 66,000. 24 opponents got 12,060 out of 53,000 basically. So the point is that we haven't seen 105,000 people vote in these primaries. But the difference is that this one actually mattered and people were paying attention because of all the money spent on it and because Thomas Massie's name. So this was the most expensive House primary in history. 35 million combined spending, not just by Israel, the Jews. Trump personally endorsed and pushed Galbraith hard. They all traveled there. There was massive outside spending. And Galbraith's 57K votes represent a surge in a mobilized electorate, not 40,000 out of nowhere. The 1 in 200 probability claim is statistically nonsense. The graphics math assumes prior low turnout opponent totals, 12 to 16,000, represent a fixed normal random baseline. But we've just already seen that's not true because even in 2020, there was 85,000 votes. And that was still a much smaller race money-wise. So actually only 20,000 extra votes were cast 6 years later in a much more high-profile race in a county where there's like 200 or a district where there's like 250,000 voters. So nothing is weird here. And so all this stuff they're saying is nonsense. Listen to this stuff.
We just watched Thomas Massie's election. I'll say it, rigged and stolen. I have no problem saying that. I don't care who attacks me over that. I know what I saw happen, and I think the country knows what they saw happen.
There's the graphic.
And nobody
about. See this? This is the graphic that Alex Jones is pushing around to say is proof that it was stolen. I mean, it's so stupid. But so. Here you go. Why do you call them new voters? The vote total in the primary on Tuesday was around 105,000. The vote total in the general election 24 was 280,000 in a super red district. So if it's 60% Republican, that means there's about 180,000 Republican voters in that district, which still means less than half of them turned out. Just over half of them turned out to vote in this. So excuse me. Still, those are primary numbers, folks. There's nothing weird here. There's nothing weird at all. He says the real mystery is how Massie received 278,000 in the 24 election, but only 47,000 of those came out this week. So is Massie the one getting a little help, little shady help? I don't know. I'm not accusing that, by the way, but you could make that argument as is being done here. So again, we'll just look at the reasons Massie actually lost, because we've just got to keep revisiting it. Here's a great clip of Massie saying how they have all these names that he still hasn't released, that he still hasn't gone to the floor to release. But listen to him and Ro Khanna, the buddies with the far left progressive. Look at Ro Khanna's doting face here. Ro Khanna just loves him some Massie, man. I think they went and made some sweet progressive Indian love after this with Massie's new body, and maybe Ro Khanna saw the pine cone. I don't know. There's a lot of pine cones in California, so Ro Khanna's probably used to playing with them. But I digress.
I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
I mean, there are 6 men, some of them with their photographs, that have been redacted, and there's no explanation why those people were redacted. And Thomas discovered it through his MIT logic. Some of the
the MIT logic is so smart. The 6 men they're talking about, the redacted names, these are the 6 names that Ro Khanna then went to the floor and released, and we found out they were all all innocent. I mean, it's not funny for those guys, but these names that they uncovered because of his MIT genius, they were all innocent dudes who had nothing to do with Epstein at all. But that's what they found in the files. And after all this bragging, they still haven't brought anything else. So much for the Epstein files.
What information did you see that led you to believe that those 6 men were implicated in Epstein's crimes?
It's a list of 20. You can go.
There's some real MIT smarts right here. So why do you think those 6 guys are implicated? Let's listen to this again. Watch Massie's response to why do you think these 6 guys were actually these unredacted names that you discovered with your MIT genius? Why are they implicated with Epstein?
It's a list of 20. You can go. You can actually. I'll direct you to the unredacted or the redacted file. It's a list of 20 individuals. 3 or 4. Maxwell and Epstein are on the list, and maybe 1 or 2 other people, and everybody else is redacted, and their names are redacted, but it also includes 20 pictures, 20 photographs, and they're sort of mugshots. They're not the best pictures. I'm not sure if they were mugshots or not, but there are at least 3 or 4 males in the photographs.
They were mugshots, and they were innocent, you moron. Which you guys found out and looked real stupid about, and said you guys are so bold and brave, you never brought. This is why Thomas Massie got voted out. Has nothing to do with Israel, has nothing to do with the Jews, has to do with retarded stuff like this. And Massie's biggest blunder was teaming up with this guy, Ro Khanna. Yeah, here's Ro Khanna's latest. You guys just want to know what Ro Khanna is trying to pull off. This is Thomas Massie's best friend in Congress, guys. Thomas Massie, the true principled conservative, the true libertarian, the only America First candidate. Now the empire is going to crumble because of this. The republic is over because his best friend is this guy, and we just kicked him out. But he's principled.
We must stand up to this modern-day Dred Scott court. They have unleashed a process that will eliminate the only black majority district in the state of South Carolina. South Carolina has a black population of 25%, but they would be left with not a single black majority district or black political representation in the House. We need term limits for these justices now, and we need to expand the Supreme Court from 9 to 13.
There it is. We need to expand the court. Yep, we need to subvert our system because the only way they can win. Yeah, thanks for telling us exactly what you think. Oh, this majority they don't have one majority district. Well, you know what? Then they should become a majority of Americans. Stop aborting your babies. I mean, come on. This is so stupid. If you are 14% of a population, you're never going to have a majority vote. I'm sorry. That's how it works. So choose a side and vote for that side. And let's stop making it about race, you morons. This is the insanity, guys. This is Thomas Massie's best friend. Thomas Massie's best friend, and probably because they see way more eye to eye than Massie sees with MAGA. Just telling the truth. This is why Thomas Massie got his butt handed to him the other day. Now, there's a whole thing going on about Charlie Kirk, how he loved Thomas Massie and how he would have chosen Thomas Massie over Trump. Well, here's his last tweet. Well, first let's show how happy Charlie was that the big beautiful bill passed. One big beautiful bill passed. This makes the border court proof. We have a standing army. Congratulations, Republicans, on top of tax cuts, deregulation, unleashing American energy. You restored American sovereignty. Let's go. That was one of Charlie Kirk's last tweets. And then the very next tweet, one big beautiful bill passes, final vote. Massie and Fitzpatrick, the only two Republicans to vote no. Yeah, calling out Massie by name against the legislation that Charlie loved so much. So, yeah, tell me again how he would have just chosen Massie over everything Trump wanted to do. It seems to me like Charlie recognized, even though he does have some clips where he says, like, Massie's a good one, he also Charlie always sided with Trump over everybody else. Always. And that, my friends, is an incontrovertible fact. Let's get back to MTG. She's got more to say. In fact, here's the new PSYOP. They are pushing against Trump, and this is why they are so desperate, guys. Massie, first of all, let's just laugh for a second. They actually thought Massie was going to win. They did. It's 100% true. They really thought he was going to win. They really thought he mattered. Robert Barnes was out there taking bets. Dave Smith was talking about how he's going to win. Rich Barris is publishing fake polls to convince everybody. We have other influencers literally going to Kentucky to bring the energy. They thought they were going to win. And when Massie got not just lost, did exactly what, thank you, Jesus, we prayed for. He got destroyed by 10 points, just an absolute drubbing. And Trump completed the rest of the cleansing the last couple weeks in the primaries. They are panicked now, and they're getting a whole new marching orders. Here's your new narrative, folks. Listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene here.
And it was all on camera, and he joked with Zelensky, and I'm not going to quote it exactly right, but I'm sure people could find the interview. And Zelensky said that there were no elections in Ukraine because they were at war. That's why elections had been canceled. And President Trump turned to him and he said, wait a minute. You mean if there's a war going on, you can't have elections? And he said it jokingly, but at the same time, knowing President Trump, I looked at that and I thought, I don't know if he's saying it.
First of all, is something wrong with her face? She looks swollen. Did she just get a new Botox injection? What is going on? Look at those lips. My God, woman. These are the wrong things you should be emphasizing on your face. Okay, I'm sorry. That was mean. All right. This is, she heard Trump ask Zelensky, did you stopped elections because of a war? And I know President Trump, and so I knew when he said that, he actually was thinking, maybe I could do that. Wow, that is some logic right there. That is some hard evidence there, MTG. Well done. Well done. Or maybe Trump was just saying, you're insane, Zelensky. You are an anti-democratic authoritarian, and I'm calling you out on it. But no, MTG was like, well, I had to think. Listen to how she mumbles about this. Listen to how she can't put together the coherent thought because she knows it's nonsense.
Elections in Ukraine because they were at war. That's why elections had been canceled. And President Trump turned to him and he said, wait a minute. You mean if there's a war going on, you can't have elections?
I like how she tries to frame Trump as if he's some absolute moron who just got this idea all of a sudden thanks to Zelensky. Wait. You mean that if I have a war, I don't have to have elections? That's genius. Brilliant. That's basically what she's accusing.
And he said it jokingly, but at the same time, knowing.
He said it jokingly, but at the same time, knowing, she has to verify it with her own in-depth knowledge here. This is so ridiculous.
President Trump, I looked at that and I thought, I don't know if he's saying it joking, but I don't know if he's joking.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake news is.
This is so clearly a mockery. And what Trump just said is, I wonder what the fake news would say about that. Exactly. He's saying, like, there's no way you could do this. And what he did right there is he's calling out the fake news for not calling out Zelensky, for making Zelensky a hero, because he's like, oh, they would never cover for me, but they're covering for you. I mean, it's so obvious. We just can see that it is obvious. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, I don't think he was joking.
No. I remember that clip, and that's what people do.
Oh my God, I can remember it like it was yesterday. Because that day I just happened to be sober for the first 3 hours of the morning. You know, usually I'm not. Usually I start my whiskey when I wake up. But I got to tell you, I remember that one, MTG. What is your name again? Marjorie? I'm sorry. I'm 6 hours in. I do remember that. It's concerning. This is what they do, folks. This is what they do.
That's what psychos do, but others.
This is what psychos do. Oh my God. Who still watches these people?
Their humor is them actually flaunting it and telling you, like, wanting to have, marry his daughter or have sex with his daughter.
What? Did you just hear what he said? These psychos, they use humor to tell you what you're doing, like when he joked about marrying his daughter. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. This is so pathetic.
And now he's coming for Epstein. I mean, it's I think it's right there. Absolutely. He's like, I remember the clip. He goes, wait. I just got a big idea.
Oh, yeah, my big idea. So, Alex, you're the guy who told us Trump was delivering us from the deep state, that you are fighting the deep state. Trump was our guy. Thank God we finally had a warrior on our team. You told us this for years. And now you're telling us this whole time you knew that Trump had the hots for his daughter because of that joke, because they actually mean it. You're telling us that the entire time you knew that, Alex, and you never warned us then? Alex, were you just a little drunk? Because, yeah, I know you're drunk a lot. I know you are. We worry about you. Because that's what you're saying, Alex. That's what you're saying right now. But unless you're a grifter, which you are, and it gets more obvious by the day.
I can get into war. Well, he just said yesterday, he said, I may be here in 2028. I may just stay. I may be the Israeli prime minister. Mm-hmm. What about that?
I may be the Israeli prime minister. What is the guy? My God, it's the craziness. They are just. This is the sign of people who are so desperate for something to stick. They're just like, we are going to say the craziest things we could possibly say to terrify you. As this is insane. And I'm sorry, if you are believing these people at this point, you might be retarded. You might need to go get checked because your brain is no longer working. It's not just the Jews anymore. It is Trump, everything he jokes about, he actually means. Oh my God.
Well, that's so that type of behavior is someone planning an idea over and over.
Did you see? She really grabbed onto that. She was like, oh, Alex, I got something for you. You got that idea, and now you're just going to hit it over and over and over again. Like you guys are doing to us, like you're doing right now. She got a little excited when Alex had something to say there because she finally kind of like something clicked in her brain. It was like, oh, I got one. I'm going to jump in now.
And over again, he constantly says it so that he can normalize the idea and test the support and test people's reactions. But saying it over and over and over again normalizes the idea.
Oh, my God. You just nailed it on the head, Marjorie. Oh, I never put it together until just now. I'm going to lean my head down. That's tough. Oh, my God. You nailed it. Just like the grifters hit us with their narratives from every angle, whether it's Alex moves to Tucker, moves to Megan, moves to Ian Carroll, moves to Nick Fuentes, moves to Dave Smith. We get it from every angle. Is that what you guys are telling us? Exactly like what you guys do? Huh? Oh, Oh, Marjorie, I can't believe it. You did it. How did I not see it? How did I not see it? Look at how his face goes down when she says it.
But saying it over and over and over again normalizes the idea. And
oh, look at, he looks kind of off to the side. I wonder if his producer was like, Alex, put your head down. Watch his eyes.
Saying it.
See, he's looking over. He's like, should I do that? Should I act like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Over and over and over again normalizes the idea. And I think it's incredibly dangerous, and no one should ever accept it. Absolutely. Absolutely not. There cannot be a third term. No.
Oh my God, there should not be a third term. We can't allow it. Dude, it's so insane.
That's against our laws. That's against the Constitution. There is no third term.
Yeah, well,
and if this country is at war, no, our elections should not be canceled. Absolutely not.
We aren't funded by foreign.
We're not funded. We're funded by supplements. Okay. My God, folks. This is what they're trying now, though. They just lost so big. They're getting so beaten back that now the whole narrative is Trump's a full-on authoritarian and going crazier and crazier. And, you know, they're pushing it in so many places. Like the psyop is this: Trump is ruining the party. He's crushing us. He's ruining MAGA. We got Robert Barnes out at the same time as Marjorie's telling us he's an authoritarian. Robert Barnes out here. Prediction: GOP is going to get utterly crushed in the midterms. They'll lose the House and badly. They'll lose the Senate and badly. They'll lose governorships in Ohio, Iowa, and Florida. Get ready for the bloodbath. All right, fat boy. I will take that bet. I'll take that bet. But again, it's so clear, guys. They got the memo. All right, Trump beat us again. We got to go deeper. And that's where we're at right now, folks. So, you know, it's absolutely pathetic. These people are getting so easy to spot. And I feel a little bit sick to my stomach every time I watch this, knowing that there was a time when I used to listen to Alex Jones and take him seriously, or at least half seriously, where I actually thought he was a good dude who might be just a little bit crazy, who actually was a patriot. And now I'm at the point where Alex, it's just so obvious, man. You guys have run to the dark side. You're completely subverting the only progress we've made in our country in decades. That's finally repealing back. We're watching this man do so much good, and it's happening. Whether it's as fast as you want or not, there are stuff happening. And for you to have fought for all this stuff you said you wanted for years and years, and we're seeing it now happen. And now you guys are fighting back, trying to scare us all away. And the craziness, let me start with the good news. The good news is that they're losing their audiences. It's getting worse and worse for them. And everybody's tuning them out, and the only people they have right now watching them are that muddled middle people who just, no matter what, they're always going to black pill. And then the other people are the Democrats who are cheering this on, saying, yes, go get Trump. And that's the good news. Their real influence is lesser and lesser, and it's because it's just gotten so obvious. It's gotten so obvious. It's really pathetic.